So as some of you know, Discraft and Ledgestone sent me a bunch of plastic recently, so today we're gonna be throwing all the new discs that I just recently got. What's going on, everybody? Kelly and I am bringing you a brand new video today. So today we are out in Kentucky playing one of my favorite local courses to play, and we're out at Boone Woods. Like I mentioned, Discraft and Ledgestone sent me a bunch of discs recently, and I am super excited to try all of these out. So today what we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna be playing a fun round out here at Boone Woods, seeing how these new discs can fly, and see if any of these discs are gonna be staying in the bag for the upcoming season. Let's head on over to hole 1 here. I'll show you some of the new discs that I got, and then we'll start the round here. So first up, 2 discs that I'm really stoked about. The first one being the Jawbreaker Zone. Trying this out as a more straight flying zone than the typical premium plastic that I'm throwing. And then another one that I'm super excited about, Chris Dickerson pretty much brought this thing back to Discraft. It's gonna be the Challenger OS. For a throwing putter, this thing is really stable, so I'm excited to see how much power I can put into this thing and how much fade it's gonna have at the end. And then the last 2 putters that I threw in the bag from Discraft and Ledgestone, the first one's gonna be a Challenger SS. This is a more understable type of Challenger, so I wanted to try this out compared to the OS and just see the different flights that I can get out of the Challenger SS. And then the last putter up that we're gonna be throwing pretty much just off the tee or for approach shot is gonna be the TI Swirl Focus. This thing I threw the other day and it is so straight for my arm speed. I think for a faster arm speed, this is gonna be a more of like a slight turnover type disc, but for me, this is a dead straight flyer. And the last disc that I got from Ledgestone is going to be the new Z Swirl XL. This is a fairway driver that I believe the flight numbers on it is like 7.5 or 7.6, -2, maybe 1, I believe. I'll have to double check. This is something that I've been looking in the Discraft lineup just because I used to throw a disc that had similar flight numbers to this, and I love the flight out of it. So I'm hoping that this has a very similar flight to that. So as you can see, we have a ton of new stuff to try out, but we're gonna head into hole 1 here and jump into the round here at Boone Woods. All right, hole 1 out here at Boone Woods is 323 feet. I always throw my Z-line force here, so we're just gonna start the round out here with that. Should be able to pick up a birdie here if we're able to get something down there. Came up pretty short there, but we'll have a putt either way. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in here today, hanging out with me out at Boone Woods. I want to give a huge shout out to anybody who I see out here at Boone Woods. I've ran into a couple people out here and they say that they watch the shorts or the YouTube videos out here. So thank you guys all so much for subscribing or checking out the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Boone Woods is one of my favorite courses to come out to. It's a nice 18-hole layout here that really lines up for any type of player to come out here and really get better. We're gonna take a look and see how short we ended up here on hole 1. Hopefully pick up a birdie, probably just outside the circle putt we got here. Not too bad for the first drive. Definitely would have liked to be a little bit closer just for the first putt of the day, but we'll try and make this one. Oh, that was so close to going in. There we go. Start the round out with the par. Not upset about that. Definitely not upset to start the round out with the par there on hole 1. We're gonna head into hole 2 here. Now, looks like it's in the A-pin location as well. So about 268 feet. Gonna take my Discraft Underground stamped Captain's Raptor here. I always like going on the left side gap here and just forcing a forehand down there. I didn't turn that over enough. It unfortunately hit one of those trees, so we'll have an interesting approach towards the basket there. Definitely not a great shot there with that Captain's Raptor, but I'm actually all right with it, even though it wasn't a great shot, because this gives us an opportunity to try out some of these new throwing putters that we have in the bag. The one that I've thrown the most so far has been the TI Focus, so I may throw that one here on this upshot that we're gonna have and take a look and see where we ended up here. Yeah, so we're still pretty far out. I'm gonna just take one of the approach discs and see how this thing flies. So we'll just take the TI Focus and get this thing up there. Sit. Okay, you can throw that thing a lot harder than I thought. Are you serious? I can't even believe that just happened. I putted it straight into the chains. Like that putt was dead center on the chain. Wow. Well, There's an unfortunate bogey. Wow, what a spit out that was on that last putt. I haven't had that happen to me in a long time, but that was super unfortunate. I hit dead center pole on that putt. My putting's been feeling really good, so I'm like super confident with it. That just kind of takes a blow to my putting ego right now, because man, I thought we were just gonna pick up the par, walk away, move on to hole 3, but take a bogey there on 2. Gonna head into hole 3 here now. Pretty tough par 3. Gonna take one of my older ESP forces in the bag. This thing's a lot flippier than the 5x force that you saw me throw on hole 1. I'm hoping to put this thing out on a little bit of flip up and then have it just carry through this initial gap that we want to hit here. Wow, that was a really good shot. That force held very straight through the initial gap that we wanted to hit and then had that reliable force fade there. Should be in a pretty good spot. All right, we ended up in a pretty decent spot. Where you see the big log that's fallen down, or literally a tree that's fallen down there, the basket is just tucked over that. So we're gonna have an interesting type of jump putt. Try and hit a birdie here. All right, we'll take that. Drop in par. That was a decent drive, but we just need a little bit more distance there. All right, we'll take that par there on hole 3. We're gonna move on to hole 4 here now. 319 feet, it's downhill, par 3. I'm gonna take the Z Swirl XL. I know this is super downhill, but I'm gonna take and power down on this XL and just throw it out to the right side. See how much fade it can actually get. I've not seen the flight of this too much, so I'm interested to see the flight characteristics of this thing. Oh no, that hit that tree. That looked like it was gonna fade right towards the basket. All right, gonna take the new Jawbreaker zone in my bag. I've heard these are a little bit more understable of a zone. So I'm gonna try and put this thing on a little ante and just have it cruise towards the basket. Nice, parked right into the basket. Pick up the par on hole 4. Really like the feel of this Jawbreaker zone. All right, on to hole 5 here. This thing is one of the more difficult holes out here for me. It is directly uphill, 326 feet, the sign says. I'm gonna take actually a newer disc in the bag that I haven't really talked about much and I didn't mention earlier in the video, but I've been trying out the new Swirly ESP Scorch. I believe this is Alexis Mandujano's Tour Series disc this year. I really like the flight of the Scorch. We're just gonna try and pump something up there and get it close to the basket. All right, we'll be in a good spot there. Definitely not the distance I wanted, but that'll give us an opportunity to take one of these new putters and have a little approach shot. I wanna showcase some of these new approach discs that I have. I'm gonna try out the Challenger SS here. We're just gonna try and throw something up there and get it close to the basket and just have it kind of sit under the basket there. Oh, let's go, no way. We just threw that in. Oh my gosh, we're probably, I'd say 75 out right here. Let's go. I've never birdied this hole before. Wow, let's go. No way did that just happen. If that thing would have went in the basket, it was probably going so far past. Like I said, I've never birdied this hole before, and it puts us back down to even, which is super cool. That Challenger SS is definitely staying in the bag after that. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. Nice. Yeah, definitely, if you were wanting to throw stuff into the basket, check out Challenger SS. Let's go. All right, I am so stoked to throw that shot in there. I think we're about 75 to 80 feet out, I believe, but we're gonna move on to hole 6 here. This thing says it's about 338 feet. I typically throw a fairway driver here, so I'm gonna take that Z Swirl XL, try and pump this thing down there. Dang, got a really unfortunate tree kick there. We're gonna be off in the left rough there. Even though we didn't have a great shot with that XL, I am still so stoked after throwing that in. I've never done anything like that on the channel here on YouTube, so that's super cool to see. We're gonna be off in the left rough with that XL. Hopefully get up and down for a par here. Yeah, pretty unfortunate spot here. There's a lot of water and stuff right here. Maybe a nice little chip forehand with that Jawbreaker zone. Definitely a little tester putt here. Nice, let's go. That's a big putt. As of right now, I think through 6 holes, we're at even, which isn't too bad with trying out some new discs. We'll move on to hole 7 here. Try and pick up a birdie. All right, hole 7, 415 feet. This is looking like it's in the B pin location, so this is a pump. I'm gonna take one of my new to this year Zeus's. I've been throwing this thing a little bit, liking the flight out of it for my backhands. Not bad. It missed all those trees. We'll probably have about a 50 to 60 footer, I would say. So I'm all right with that backhand. I'm gonna take that same Challenger SS and just try and throw this thing in the basket. Ah, didn't give it enough height. If we would have did that again, that would have been crazy. We'll pick up a par there. There we go. Take a par on that one. On to hole 8 here, downhill 269 foot par 3. Gonna take the last disc that I just got from Discraft, and that's gonna be the Challenger OS. So this thing I've heard is pretty stable. Chris Dickerson is putting with these and throwing these. This is a mold that Discraft really wasn't running all too much before Chris joined the team. I'm gonna give this a fair bit amount of power and see what kind of line and how much fade this thing has. Wow, that thing is absolutely parked up on that hill with the basket that's like perched up on a hill down there. That thing had a great flight out of it. I put a lot of power into that thing and had a really nice reliable fade there. Gotta hit this putt. Oh, dirty putt, but we'll take it. Super stoked on that too. I mean, look at how tall this basket is. It's crazy. Challenger OS, these things are sweet. All right, final hole out here at Boone Woods, trying out all of these new discs in the bag. It's gonna be a par 3. It's either 346 or 412 feet. We're just gonna take this new Scorch again in the bag, throw it off to the right side, up and over the brush there. Hopefully get something towards the basket. It is pretty far. Try to give it a run here today. Dang, pretty nice flight out of that. I got a lot out of that Scorch actually. Kind of threw it a little bit nose up just because we are going uphill, but it should be in a pretty decent spot. Yeah, definitely ended up a lot shorter than I would have liked, but we're gonna have an uphill. I'm gonna try and jump putt this there. Go in. Oh, that just went right under the basket. That almost went in. That would have been a huge birdie. There's a par. What a fun round that was, trying out all those new discs. A few of those are definitely gonna be staying in the bag. Well, folks, that is going to wrap up the round out here at Boone Woods and trying out all of those new discs that Discraft and Ledgestone have sent me. Man, I'm really liking the flight out of a lot of those discs, especially the Challenger OS and the Jawbreaker Zone. Those are more than likely going to stay in the bag, and if you're definitely looking to pick up some new approach discs or throwing putters off the tee, definitely check those out at either discraft.com or you can check them out at shopledgestone.com. There will be a link in my bio to help support me throughout this upcoming season. But we did end up shooting -1 out here after an unfortunate spit out on, I believe it was hole 2, after that putt hit the dead center pole there. Definitely should have been around the 2 or 3 down out here. Boone Woods is one of those courses out here that gives me a lot of trouble for some reason, so I'm definitely going to be filming a breaking series out here. But if you did enjoy the video here today, make sure that you leave a like down below. Comment which one of the discs that you would like to try out the most, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button because we're going to be bringing you more videos. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.